Good afternoon, everyone. 10 to 4 on the 3rd of June. I'm looking again at VectorVest US. I suppose it's an hour and a half nearly into the trading day. And the S&P continues, and the American market continues to move up. As you can see, the advances much higher than the declines. And the VectorVest color guard with its pointer into the green. And the short-term trend is up, the longer-term trend is up, and we've got the longest measure of the trend on VectorVest confirmed up, all positive. So let's just have a look at the S&P 500 itself, and that's the S&P 500, and this is it grinding up. That's the longest term measure of a signal in VectorVest, but if I put this Fibonacci retracement on that I had on in the video yesterday, you can see that it's moving up towards that 78% retracement after the 62% retracement held it in its tracks for the guts of 2-3 weeks. So moving up to here, that's at about 31.30. We'll see what happens up here. I've been using a medium-term market timing signal called the DEW, which gave a very good sell signal up here and a pretty good buy signal somewhere down around there. That was on the 6th of April. So we are the guts of 2 months into that signal, and this has been a great period. So a share that's caught my fancy this afternoon, which is called DVA. Okay, it's trading at $80. It's off a little bit today. VectorVest believes it's worth 109, so it's 20% plus undervalued. The relative value, which is a measure of the price appreciation potential on a scale between 0 and 2, at 1.3, which is excellent. The relative safety is fair at 1.12, and the short-term trend good. And when we put those together into the master indicator VST, it's got a VST of 1.26, which is good. 1.3 would be excellent. The thing that really attracted me to this is the CI, which is a measure of the long-term trend, and that CI at 1.53, saying that this share's in the throes of a very strong trend with little volatility. It's on a buy recommendation with a stop loss at 73. VectorVest believes it's going to grow earnings next year at 12%. So the fundamentals look good, and very importantly the chart looks good as well, because the chart I've got that's earnings per share, and you can see the earnings per share over the last 6 months rising. If we put up a year's data, we can see the strong trend that's in place over the last year. Earnings per share has gone from, I think, from about $4.50 to near $6, and it's moved up in this nice fashion. And since I've been working with VectorVest, which is nearly 10 years now, I found that one of the strongest predictors of a successful trade is that earnings per share is moving up from the bottom left to the top right of its window and moving up smoothly. So let's go back to 6 months worth of data. Now, this pattern, folks, is a very famous pattern. It's known as a cup and handle. We could also see a major resistance here as well, but I think that I've drawn a line between those tops, and that's, I think, is a valid trend line, and it stopped at that trend line for 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Volume is quite good, because see these, when it last pushed to that high, volume rose, and as it was pushing up again, volume rose, and as it's gone sideways, no volume at all, which is telling me that there's no sellers around. Now, the classic way of interpreting this cup and handle, the cup and handle boys call this the pivot, and so that's the cup, this is the little handle. So just think of the teacup the next time, and I think the classic way of interpreting this would be a push above 85 and the ball is in, the game is on, and that can quite easily mean that we get a $20 move on the upside. So just keep your eye on it. I think many people would be tempted to get in before that at the break of this line, and as you can see, there's quite a strong support level somewhere down around here. You see that level running right through this chart here. So that was support. This is resistance, resistance, support. Remember, support and resistance is in fact a zone, not a single line. So the very powerful support at 75, and it's now pushing through 80. So I think at the very least, one would be looking for a close above this trend line. The classic cup and handle interpretation would be a push through 85. If that pushes through 85, I think that we can get the VectorVest valuation is 109. Let me put the value on. There's our valuation, and it's been based on this earnings growth. It's been revalued by VectorVest over the last month or two, and as you can see, the VectorVest valuation about 110, and that's pretty much the technical target from this cup and handle as well. So the stop loss is at 73. The VectorVest calculate stop loss is at 73. That's probably a good level for the stop. So I think that there's a high probability of that occurring as long as the general market keeps trending to the upside. If we look at the front page of VectorVest and I go to our market timing chart, this market is rising, folks, and our market time our market timing indicator is also rising, and there's no divergence between the price and the indicator. Frequently at the end of a move, the price will rise but the indicator will fall. There's no sign of that yet. Nevertheless, this market is in a mega overbought situation, but it can stay overbought, as we all know, and can stay oversold, as we all know, for quite a spell. Let's see if this share can break, and if it does break, I think there'll be quite a speedy move till about 110. So I hope you found that useful. Even if you don't trade DVA, I think that the methodology of finding shares that are breaking out, that are undervalued, that are growing earnings strongly, and one would want to see the breakout occurring on rising volume. So if you tick all of those boxes, you're going to get very, very good at this if you want to be a swing trader. Thanks very much indeed.